Most people assume that overthinking a text message is just anxiety, that the person staring at their phone, reading the same 3 sentences over and over, is simply someone who worries too much. We tend to call it insecurity, sensitivity, maybe even immaturity. And on the surface, that seems like a perfectly reasonable explanation. But what if the overthinking isn't the problem at all? There's a specific kind of person who can hold an entire conversation in their head before sending a single word, who types something, deletes it, rewrites it 4 times, reads it back in 17 different tones and still isn't sure, who sends the message and then immediately feels a quiet dread settle in, not because they said something wrong, but because they can't control how it will land. Most people look at that behavior and see someone who's too much in their head. Psychology sees something else entirely. What's actually happening beneath the surface isn't a flaw in thinking, it's a flaw in feeling safe. Research on attachment patterns has long shown that people who grew up in emotionally unpredictable environments, where love felt conditional, where the wrong words at the wrong moment changed everything, learn very early that communication is dangerous territory. Not always, not with everyone, but enough times to leave a mark. And here's where it gets interesting. The brain doesn't just remember experiences. It learns rules from them. If saying the wrong thing once meant withdrawal, coldness, punishment, or silence, the brain files that away. It creates a protocol. And years later, standing in the kitchen holding a phone, that same brain runs the old protocol. It scans the message, it checks the tone, it models the other person's potential reaction from 12 different angles. Not because the person is unstable, but because their nervous system was trained to do exactly this. The overthinking isn't irrational, it's institutional memory. But there's one more layer that most people miss entirely. The people who overthink text the most are often the ones who are most attuned to other people's emotional states. They notice the way silence feels different depending on who it comes from. They hear the subtext beneath casual words. They know with uncomfortable accuracy that "I'm fine" rarely means fine. That precision of perception, that emotional radar, is the same system running when they're composing a message. They're not just imagining reactions, they're anticipating them with a sensitivity that in other contexts makes them remarkable listeners, loyal friends, and deeply empathic partners. What looks like insecurity is often extraordinary awareness wearing the wrong label. The behavior that appears to be weakness, this obsessive editing, this endless second-guessing, is actually the nervous system doing the only thing it ever learned to do when emotional stakes felt high. It protects, it prepares, it tries to make something safe before sending it out into a world that, once upon a time, wasn't. Sometimes the behavior isn't the problem, it's the solution the brain built long before the person was old enough to choose a different one. So if you recognize yourself in this, if you've sat with a message long past the point of reason, if you've spent more time writing 3 sentences than most people spend on a paragraph, maybe it isn't something broken in you. Maybe it's evidence of how carefully you've always paid attention, how much you've always cared, and how hard a younger version of you worked to keep things from going wrong. That's not a flaw, that's a history.